after a rare scoreless first half, these teams now just looking for something as the second half gets underway. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. And we thought this game had the potential to be tight, maybe not this tight, scoreless as we start the third quarter.
And I love the way you use the word tight. I'm going to take it a little bit different direction here because it's not just tight on the scoreboard. I think both offenses have been tight in how they've played this game. No one's been loose. No one's been free. They've got to find a way to make some plays, and I don't think you do it if you're really tight in everything that you're doing in the game.
I wonder if they're wandering back to the huddle thinking to themselves, can we just hit rewind and go back a play? Definitely not the down they wanted to begin this drive by giving up a sack. But for the defense, that's exactly how they drive.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Mahomes now to throw. Airing it out deep for Smith. This is caught at the 20. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Devontae Smith, 79 yards. And the Chiefs come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Well, these two teams battled through a scoreless first half. Finally, a breakthrough here in quarter number 3.
And I just wonder how that played for both of them psychologically, because when you battle through a scoreless first half, now you know that every possession is increasingly crucial. Who can put points on the board, make the other team chase? Wonder if you get a lift and if they get deflated a little bit.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, one-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side trying to match each other.
On second down, a run with Dobbins. He was trying to turn the corner, but he will go nowhere. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that one officially a loss of 1.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Here comes 3rd down and 7. Here's Watson. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. The Colts send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Taking it about the 36. Gets around him. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. He returns the punt 64 yards on the score. And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Hey, rookie, that's the way to make an impression. Return one for a touchdown.
Yeah, welcome to the party. We saw him fielding those punts before the game, and he just had a little bit of a look in his eye, didn't he?
He did. He was a confident young man, and now we know why.
They're going to keep it on the ground. And this time he'll be stopped short of the goal line. He might have been out of gas after the long run. In any event, the try for two fails. But we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And that's pretty good coverage by the kick team, as he'll only be able to get this past the 15-yard line and no further. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
Exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
But these guys are going to chomp into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. To throw is Watson. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the veteran James Harrison. The Chiefs offense ready to go again. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Snap coming at 1, and it's Mahomes. Complete. Smith has it. And he's going to get this inside the 30. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs 1st down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You are watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. Here's a handoff to Irving. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Robert Spillane, the linebacker, there on the tackle.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Being chased out left. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Going for the knockout blow right there. I think if I'm up 2 scores, I'd be worried about an interception, but playing this way is what got them this lead. So you may as well ride it out to the end.
This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. Dancing to his left. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on 3rd down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a 1st down.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll run with Irving. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Bucky Irving with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chiefs have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. They'll try and throw for it. And he's got it. So the two-point conversion is good, and they add on to their fourth quarter lead. So this time the conversion is good after a pair of failed two-point tries. Charles, they're 1 for 3 now.
And you would figure with 3 touchdowns scored, your minimum number of points would be 21, right? 3 extra points. And as you noted, they went for 2 twice, didn't get it. Went here again. This reminds me of something a coach told me a while ago. They have more two-point plays on their ready sheet nowadays than ever before. It used to be like 1 or 2. Now most teams have up to 6 or 7 that they have at the ready.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
The first down screen pass, good for 5. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
And that's another play. It's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
From the gun on third, Watson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Looks like they're going to keep throwing to the bitter end. This one's long since over, but give them credit. They're going to go down fighting. That one, incomplete.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Watson. To the right side and intercepted. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. How about one last great play defensively, and that should, for all intents and purposes, finish off this shutout.
That's as good a defensive performance as we've seen in a long, long time. And I know as a team they will celebrate, but I will guarantee you the defensive guys, they'll get together somewhere and have their own private celebration. A shutout, that's something to be cherished.
Now a give, Irving running right. Flash the stick skills on that run, but then stop shy of the 35. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Once again, it's Irving. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run. This is Irving. Able to slither by. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 40 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Interesting, Mahomes wants to throw it. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. Now here's Mahomes. And his throw is in. They go play fake. Mahomes. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he'll be touched down in the end, but a big play on that one.
That's the kind of play this offense desperately needed. They've got to be saying, our defense has kept us in the ball game. We're down, but we're certainly not out. And maybe that was a spark that they've been searching for.
On 2nd down, Irving. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Bucky Irving, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Chiefs come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter.
No touchdowns for them in the first half, but their defense kept them in this ball game. So now, maybe this can loosen them up a little because they played tight so far, and they get right back in it with a touchdown run.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Now Mahomes to the line as the Chiefs are going to go for the 2-point try. Mahomes will throw for it. And no, it falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion, no good. Interesting call there. They went for 2 even after the penalty from the 7-yard line. It didn't pay off.
I think the first thought is to go ahead and kick the extra point, but you're not kicking it from the 7-yard line.
Yeah,
right?
because you get pushed 5 back on the PAT as well.
Right, so they have to take it from the 15 to administer the penalty. So now you're kicking it around 40 yards. So I understand why they probably went for 2 there. They thought they had a better play and a better chance in that situation.
Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
Well, he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. George Karlaftis in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, certainly going to be a lot tougher adding a touchdown to that lead now since they're facing 2nd and 20+. Big-time sack to start the drive and put the opponent way back. Let's see what kind of play call they come up with here.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Gibson here running out of the gun. And he loses the football a second time. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Well, the touchdown a minute ago on offense got him back into it. And now the defense turns right around and forces the turnover.
And you and I both know if you're going to come from as far down as they have to, it's going to take both sides of the ball, maybe even the special teams to get involved. And so far, they've done exactly that. Offense scores, defense does its job. They're making their move.
Mahomes now on first down. That is incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth.
A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. Now a battle for the football. It's caught. It's a touchdown. Devin Hester finding a way to get the feet down. And the Chiefs have scored again in this third quarter, this time to move out in front. Well, Charles, I think you and I both agree these guys were outplayed in that first half, and the scoreboard reflected that, but they've come out since halftime. They've looked like a different team.
And it makes you wonder what was said and done in that locker room because they've made some nice adjustments, and they're executing better. I think they got some fiery guys on that sideline that had a few things to say at the half, and now they've come out with a vengeance.
You know, we've discussed this before, and we've seen it at practices, extra periods being put in for the offense on these two-point tries, but the defense, they're beefing up their support as well in practice.
They absolutely have to. If people are going to go for two and try and gain those advantages and make it tougher on your team as the game goes along, you have to be in a position to stop. You can't let them get the advantage. So, yes, the defensive teams, they're putting in that extra time on two-point plays as well.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. Charles, you got to think the #1 goal here is ball security. Remember, last drive they coughed it up, then they allowed the touchdown, and now they're trailing on the scoreboard.
Boy, the way you described it makes me think that that one actually hurt them 3 times. The fumble cost them potential points. Then they watched their opponent get a touchdown off of the fumble. And third, they lost the lead as a result. Really tough sequence right there. I don't think coaches have to remind them to hold on to the football. They've just got to find a way to get it done.
On second down, a run with Gibson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up. They're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Howell throwing on 3rd down here. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about Some applause for the defense there. They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Dances by him. So a good punt there, but a very strong 14-yard return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. KC's offense ready to take over. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better.
He's got a man, complete, and that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. A great effort there. 50 yards. And the Chiefs get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. What a great weapon. So often, such a big mismatch.
And there's no route he can't run. You name it, he's going to do it, and he's a matchup nightmare for the defense. No matter who they put on him, he's going to win the battle.
They'll look to throw. And he finds his way into the end zone as the lead moves to 10. So they try to make it a 2-score game with a conversion. It pays off.
And they've looked at the situation, figured it out well. A 2-score game in this situation, they've got to feel much better about where they are.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And Howe will throw it. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Dontari Poe marches in for the sack. Found his way into the backfield, and he simply would not be denied.
Well, they say that life's all about opportunities, and that holds true when you're playing defense as well. How about him seeing that chance, making the most of it, did a great job of wrapping him up and bringing him down.
He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. 3 quarters in the books. You are watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Eluding the pressure right. He's got his man, Gates. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Antonio Gates, 50 yards. And the Chiefs use the big play to extend their 4th-quarter lead. Well, what we just saw, we've seen a lot of broken tackles, and they're leading to a huge touchdown play.
Yeah, none of them more glaring than what we just saw there, but we've seen it throughout this game, whether it's in tight, running through the line, out in open field. They haven't been able to get these runners down very well. feeling they'll be in pads a lot next week, working on their tackling.
And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, but that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot.
Now throwing on first down here. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
On 1st and 10, here's Irving. A nice move he had, but can't break away. And he's brought down just inside the 30. 58 yards rushing for him now to this point. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
And this is the worry, because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up, and you're staring at an important third down.
So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. They'll try and run here with Irving. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. 5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They'll stay on the ground with Irving. And he will have a Chiefs first down. And that's the one that should seal the victory. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Straight ahead, it's Irving. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
A run up the middle with Irving. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. the handoff. This is Irving. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. It's a pickup of 5, and that should just about wrap this one up. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps. For these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Irving will take this one in. It's a Chiefs touchdown.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Now Mahomes to the line as the Chiefs are going to go for the 2-point try. They'll try and run it here. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead. So they kept it on the ground, got it into the end zone. But Charles, sometimes you probably see teams treat a 2-point conversion differently than if it was 1st and goal from the 2, or I should say 3rd and goal from the 2.
I agree with you totally on that. A lot of teams treat it as if they have farther to go and shy away from running the football. I think this is a great spot to do it because most teams play you for the pass. Go ahead and run and let your linemen surge and fire out.